a woman in amongst it all, Bernadette Cooper from Sky Channel. Morning, Bernadette. Look, how has the vibe been during the week leading into today?
Yeah, good morning, Jace. Thanks for having me, and it's really nice to talk to you on what is a beautiful day here at the Gold Coast. The week's huge for everybody, whether they come for work or pleasure, I think, because there's just so many events to go to. And, you know, Magic Millions make a massive effort to market it as a fun, sort of frivolous week, and obviously they want you to buy plenty of horses. So it's probably very unique as far as you don't go to too many sales yards around the world where people can sit back in their shorts and thongs. They come from the beach in the morning and they get down there to the sales and buy horses. Of course, the sales started on Wednesday, but they had polo last Sunday, a nice meeting at the coast last Saturday leading into this. Then the polo, then they had the launch party, then the sales start, and obviously culminating in this fantastic race day that we've got here today. And to be honest, historically, we can have some very poor, hot weather on this day, but it actually feels quite good today, so hopefully that'll be enjoyable for the horses as well as the people.
A lot of short course races today, but really the week is about staying the trip, particularly for those that are attending all the events and the sales and the race day on limited sleep. Obviously, you professionally handled it very well. Let's talk about races 7 and 8, starting with the $2 million Magic Millions Guineas. Is it a case of Outback Barbie being clearly the horse to beat, as the market suggests?
Yeah, absolutely she is. She's had an almost faultless preparation really leading into this. Apart from last start, obviously she drew really poorly and everything went terribly wrong for her last time out. And Boom Sarah won the race that she was in last time, and he was dominant in doing so. He's a really nice horse from the Chris Muntz stable. But Barbie has that nice turn of foot, and the thing that swings in Barbie's favour today is the barrier draw. So Kumara obviously draws poorly, and he will make a beeline for the fence early. And given that she comes out of 2, I think, 3, I'm sorry, she comes out of, she'll be looking to sort of hightail it and keep as close to his bottom throughout the run as she can. She's got a really nice turn of foot. It'll just, 2 starts ago, she actually struggled to keep up in the race. She was sort of 5th or 6th, and she was under a lot of pressure to keep up. But that was behind a very smart Zoo Style. He sets a very high cruising speed, Zoo Style. So it wasn't surprising to see that she was sort of struggling to keep up, mostly in the middle sections of that race. But boy, when she got out, she absolutely flew to the line. That was in the Gold Edition. She won first up. And then, obviously, she was luckless behind Boom Sarah last time out. That's not to say that I don't think, I'm tipping Barbie, but it's not to say that I don't think Boom Sarah could possibly beat her again here today. He's probably excelling now that he's getting to the right trip, which is sort of 13 to 1400 rather than back in those 6 furlong races. So he's a really talented gelding by Spirit of Boom. Eureka starter, excuse me, over here has done a marvellous job for, they've got 1 runner in the 2-year-old and I think 3 in the 3-year-old. So Eureka Stud obviously raced this horse, Boom Sarah. I think they've got Plumaro, might be 2 in this race, but they've done a great job and they've got 2 live chancellors here. So, yeah, look, I'm very boring as far as the tips go in these 2 big races here today because I'm sticking with Outback Barbie over Boom Sarah here.
The Star Gold Coast $2 million Magic Millions Classic is the marquee event. Very keenly contested each and every year. There's plenty of form around it. We've got a $4.80 narrow favourite in Exhilarates, but dubious Unite and Conquer and Sarzan are all in commission at around $5.50. What's the sort of the key form line for you, Bernie? Is it Exhilarates and what she was able to do most recently, or is that just a case of it's happened most recently, so it's sort of most prominent in our memories?
Well, it possibly could be a combination, but I'd really like to go to the first reason mostly because, she raced behind Zartan and Unite and Conquer, and they were sort of big, precocious colts trained up, by Adrian and Gay, and they were ready to run too. They were the types of colts that you want as 2-year-olds, but they jump, they lead, they're strong and powerful, and they can sustain that over the 1,000 and 1,100, or indeed the 1,200. But she, on the other hand, was a little bit late on the scene as far as maturity-wise. She got lost at her first start. Second start, she struck quite poor interference. She was already back in the field anyway. That was the race that Zarson won, but she took many lengths off him. It was only in a 1,000-metre race. I think it was Gosford from memory. So she put the riding on the wall there, but she still didn't have that that sort of ready-to-run attitude, I guess. At her next start, she went to Wyong, and she ran into Unite and Conquer, and again, she was sort of back in the ruck, and she had to go back to the inside to get out, and it was 1,100, and again, he was too sharp for her on that occasion. So then they brought her up here, and she just looked a far more furnished filly in the yard as well. She sort of beefed up a little bit. She was starting. She's not overly big, but she's very quite feminine looking actually. But she definitely had put nice muscle on across her loin and across the top part of her rump, and trimmed up beautifully, in that midsection. So she really was obviously growing and doing well in the stable. And the other day, at her first, actually it was 1,100, but I've no doubt that she, she'd run 1,300 at the moment. She's just going that well. So the fact that she follows that proven path that we've seen in recent years of Hooton and Sunlight, and I think there might be 4 or 5 of them that have taken that path, running the week before. So James Cummings says she's done incredibly well this week. So the 1,200 should be right up her alley here today. I think the only thing that could beat her, given that she doesn't have as much pace as perhaps a few others in this race, would be interference. We all know what that interference can be like sort of at the half mile here at the Gold Coast, particularly in Magic Millions races. So I'm sure Kieran will just be looking, just to give her as smooth a path as possible, even if he does have to pop out 3 deep from there with cover perhaps, but hopefully he doesn't. But yeah, he'll be looking it'll be all about smooth sailing in this race for her. But coming to the turn here the other day, she was trotting and he could not hold her any slower, and she won as she liked. Okay, concede today she plays with the big guns, but when she's been taking many lengths off Zarson and indeed Unite and Conquer in 1,000 and 1,100, you'd think today's race at 1,200 is just ideal. So it's easy to see why the market's adjusted there, and punters are very keen on her.
In race number 3, Bernie, you've got your best bet, Mashani Bullet, horse number 4. That's the best on the card for you?
Yeah, I really like this horse. He raced in good group races and listed races throughout his whole 3-year-old career. He returned first up at Doomben the other day, and he never got out. So he's a big, rangy entire. Been a winner here at the track previously. He draws a little awkward, but I think he'll be in the first half of the field. He's had a change of trainer, actually, but there's Kelly now training at the Gold Coast. But I do remember him winning a race here by about 5 lengths. So even though Desley Forster's got one in there called Chapter and Verse, it's a favourite. He'd be very hard to beat, but I think he might have to give Mashani Bullet a few lengths start on straightening. And as I said, this horse has come back very strong entire. So on the back of that first up run at Doomben last time out, he's got to be very hard to beat.